Imagine being alone on a ship at the end of the world. The sky splits open in fury. Waves rise like liquid walls. The wind cuts through your skin, and the cold bites deep into your bones. All around you, nothing. Only the roar of an endless ocean. You're standing on the border between the Pacific and the Atlantic, a place where the winds never rest and the sea never sleeps. Its name is the Drake Passage, and for centuries it has been known as the most dangerous stretch of ocean on Earth. Today you'll discover what makes this place so deadly, why here the oceans collide in chaos, the Earth trembles beneath the waves, and humanity learns the true meaning of the word limit. But before we set sail, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's dive into one of nature's most powerful forces: geography and physical context. The Drake Passage is a corridor of icy water separating the southern tip of South America, Cape Horn, from the Antarctic Peninsula. It's the gateway to the Southern Ocean, the youngest, wildest, and most powerful ocean on Earth. Here flows the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the strongest ocean current in the world, circling Antarctica endlessly. And the Drake Passage is its natural bottleneck, a funnel that channels this colossal global flow through a space only about 500 miles wide. With no land barriers to slow them down, freezing Antarctic winds crash into warmer air masses from the north. The result? Winds that race thousands of miles unchecked, sudden tempests, and monstrous waves. In regular conditions, waves here reach 30 to 50 feet high. But during severe storms, rogue waves, true liquid walls, have been recorded rising over 80 feet, capable of swallowing entire ships in seconds. Beneath this raging corridor lies a geological scar, the Shackleton Fracture Zone, a boundary where the South American and Antarctic tectonic plates meet. It's an area of constant seismic tension, with recent earthquakes exceeding magnitude 7.5. A reminder that danger here doesn't only come from above, but also from deep below. Everything in this place conspires against balance. It's where winds, waters, and the Earth's crust itself collide. A point where the planet seems to breathe, and sometimes scream. But this colossal force never went unnoticed. Since the first sailors set eyes on it, humanity has sensed that the end of the world hid secrets powerful enough to change history itself. History and global importance. For centuries, the far south of South America was a mystery. Sailors knew of a narrow, deadly route, the Strait of Magellan. But what if there was an open sea beyond? In 1578, the English explorer Francis Drake was caught in a massive storm that pushed his fleet far off known routes. When the skies finally cleared, Drake realized he had gone beyond the edge of the continent. The Atlantic and Pacific Oceans truly met south of Tierra del Fuego. He didn't sail the entire route, but he proved that open water existed. Decades later, in 1616, the Dutch navigator Willem Schouten became the first to intentionally cross the southernmost route, naming the legendary Cape Horn. From that moment on, the Drake Passage became both the most feared and most crucial oceanic corridor on Earth, the only link between the great oceans before the opening of the Panama Canal. But this route demanded its price in blood. The sea punished every ship with winds and waves that felt born from hell itself. And with every crossing, the world learned a new lesson about the limits of human courage. The discovery and birth of a legend. Drake gave it a name, but it was centuries of sailors who gave it a legend. Through the age of exploration, the Drake Passage became a sailor's trial by fire, a brutal rite of passage between fear and glory. Some crossed it and wrote their names into history. Others vanished forever. Over time, the Drake Passage came to symbolize both the raw power of nature and humanity's stubborn will to defy it. Even during the great scientific expeditions, the Drake remained a test of will. In 1832, the young naturalist Charles Darwin sailed through it aboard the HMS Beagle and described the southern seas as a chaos of motion. To him, it felt as if the planet itself was alive, restless and furious. The human experience. Those who cross the Drake today speak of it with the same reverence you'd give an active volcano. Sailors call it the baptism of the South. Your body sways, your stomach turns, the deck tilts 40 degrees. Even the largest ships feel like toys against its waves. On the rare calm days, they call it the Drake Lake. But most of the time, it's the Drake Shake, a liquid hell where the sky and sea blur into one. Those who make it through share a silent ritual. They call themselves children of the wind, because anyone who faces the Drake never comes back quite the same, though some never return at all. Tragedies, legends, and real events. The history of the Drake Passage is written in salt and blood. One of the most tragic disasters was that of the Spanish ship San Elmo in 1819. It set sail with 644 men bound for the Pacific and vanished into a storm. Months later, fragments of the ship were found drifting near the South Shetland Islands. Some historians believe its crew may have been the first humans to reach Antarctica, unintentionally and fatally. A century later, in 1916, explorer Ernest Shackleton and his crew braved the Drake in a small open boat, the James Caird, after the Endurance was crushed by ice. They sailed over 600 miles through impossible conditions, freezing winds, roaring seas, and against every odd, they survived. But these are only echoes of thousands of other stories. Of fishermen, scientists, and adventurers who challenged the Drake and never came back. Each wreck, each scream swallowed by the wind, tells the same truth. The sea does not forgive, and it cannot be tamed. But today, with all our technology, satellites, weather radars, steel ships, has anything really changed? Modern times and transformation. Today, the Drake Passage is both a scientific route and an adventure destination. Crossing it is either a dream or a nightmare for anyone heading to Antarctica. Modern research vessels and cruise ships make the journey in about 2 days. With advanced radar and satellite forecasting, captains can now read the weather with astonishing accuracy. And yet, the Drake remains unpredictable. In a matter of hours, clear blue skies can turn into a gray abyss. Waves 15 meters high rise from nowhere, and the roar of the wind drowns every human sound. The Drake has also become a living laboratory for scientists. The currents that pass through it regulate global climate and ocean temperatures. To study these waters is to feel the heartbeat of the planet. What was once a symbol of fear and isolation is now a portal of discovery, a bridge between mystery and knowledge. Legacy and final reflection. Some places need no monuments to inspire awe. The Drake Passage is one of them. It's where the oceans meet, where Earth reveals its strength, and where humanity faces its own smallness. Each crashing wave carries centuries of history. Each icy gust reminds us that there are still frontiers we will never control. The Drake isn't just a crossing, it's a mirror. It reminds us of what we truly are. Fragile, curious, endlessly ambitious, always daring the impossible, just to leave our mark. And as long as the sea keeps roaring at the bottom of the world, its voice will echo a warning and a promise that there are still places on Earth where nature speaks louder than man. If you enjoyed this journey to the heart of the world's wildest ocean, keep exploring, because our planet still holds seas that roar, mountains that whisper, and stories that deserve to be told.